in value is because they expect the opponent to freak out when they see it. They've done that a few times to each other, and it's been pretty interesting to watch. So I hope we get a few more of those moments.
Yeah, like baiting out a certain card to like set up the next turn so that card wouldn't any longer be there. Like that type of things. It's really cool to see. It's really the last match between these guys was so high skill game. And oh my goodness, bad news for Lostov. It's possible. I mean, it's doable, but it's very hard.
But hey, you know what's good is if you get the patron out of the way early, then you're gonna get into that handlock eventually. So maybe you're happy to get the patron out of the way.
Losing
that's backwards logic, right? That's totally backwards.
Yeah. You want to win with the handlock from the patron, kind of. So the patron would be out of the way, and then you no longer get that. But it's not an impossible matchup. Lostov looks like he's gonna curve out really nicely, and Lifecoach also does not have a weapon just yet. And if the warrior does not find weapons, the early minions can add up to a lot of damage.
Yeah, no, Lostov might have looked at the second zombie chow and thought, is that worth ever playing here? The problem is if I play the zombie chow, then I'm feeding him a fiery war axe value, and one of the ways you win against warriors by making their war axes irrelevant, right? Like you just force them to use it on crappy 1-1 sometime in the mid game,
right? And
then you take it from there.
Oh, that unstable cool is actually doing a lot of work here. Like it puts Lostov in a tricky spot here.
I'd probably just play Shielded Minibot. I mean, you're not really suffering too much from the ghoul if you do so.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. That seems okay.
Doesn't he wish he'd played that second zombie chow now?
Yeah.
It would have solved this ghoul problem, and it also really plays around Armorsmith very well. But you lose the coin, which is a huge, a swing card, a crazy swing card, in fact.
Oh my! He was hovering over the juggler, but that would be a big mistake, I believe. Because then they
go coin zombie chow. Oh man, get that 50.
Oh man, that would be such a huge 50. That's a little bit too risky. I mean, if it worked out, if he hit the juggle, that would be absolutely amazing. But I think that the Shielded Minibot is the most reasonable play here. And now that Acolyte, there's no way Lifecoach can pass up on it.
Yeah, it's too good. You can kill a zombie chow. Now the drawback for Lifecoach is he's not damaged yet, so that battle rage that you might pick up eventually will not be enabled. If he ever wants to get a good turn, Lostov is gonna have to pack some damage to the face first.
Right. So where does the ghoul go? If you go face with the ghoul, what's the worst thing that can happen?
I don't mind popping the shield. No. I almost don't mind popping the shield because you put everything on 1 health and then your Acolyte can trade into stuff.
Interesting.
But
I think this is fine. It's also that
I think it's great even. Oh wow. Yeah, oh, do you go for an all-in? Let's hope he doesn't have Whirlwind with a muster for battle club, and then you just coin out that Quartermaster and win.
I think you do. I mean, I can also see that there's no Whirlwind, so I guess it's like easier.
Of course.
Yeah, but I think it's so good. Like, because it's a hard matchup. You gotta take some chances. Without saying it, I would still go for it.
Okay.
It's on curve. It's a hard matchup. You know you gotta take risks, and that's the kind of thing that can actually win you the game.
Let's see if Lifecoach picks up the Whirlwind. If he doesn't,
that's painful for Lostov right there.
And the worst part is, Lifecoach can even curve out a Fiery War Axe Dread Corsair on the back end, and that's going to put him on the board ahead of Lostov, and it's already a favorable matchup. Lifecoach is well on his way to secure the game.
Oh man, this is so close. If he actually managed to pull off the coin Quartermaster, I think he would have been the favorite to win this, but that Whirlwind, it changes everything, and Lifecoach knows that Lostov still has the coin. He absolutely has the Whirlwind, he knows it. What he's thinking about here is what else to play.
Yeah, do I want to play the Fire Axe Corsair into a True Silver, or do I just want to develop, play my shield block to find more cards for the Emperor turn a few turns down the line? Like, there's a few things in his mind, but...
Armorsmith is fine too.
Right.
If there's something like Shredder coming, then he can fire a War Axe it first, and then maybe whatever pops out of the Shredder, he can use the Armorsmith to like draw some cards.
Yeah, because the upside of the Armorsmith is, like, the Battle Rage giving you so much value. Yeah. Like getting that guy damage right now is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
That's better than the Fire War Axe Dread Corsair if you're looking to enable Battle Rage, that's for sure.
I think so, though, yeah. I mean, he could have not damaged it, but I guess, why not? Like, basically, why would you need it at full health?
And looks like he's going to be able to get a Shredder hit. And the good thing is he can still curve in that Dread Corsair perfectly here.
Yeah.
So he can draw cards, play a minion, just do about everything he wants at this point.
Oh yeah. Battle Rage, Fighter Warrior, Dread Corsair. Oh my.
That's a crazy turn 5 for Patron Warrior, because usually they tend to have that kind of weak early mid. But the Fire War Axe Corsair salvages that kind of... that's the weakness of the deck, really.
What pops out? Ooh, 3-2. Well, that's very good for Lostov.
Yeah,
it challenges the Dread Corsair now.
Yeah, not even sure Lifecoach will want to play it anymore.
Yeah, but then it kills the Armor Smith for free. It's a tricky situation. Like 2-3 would have been so much better for him. Then at least like the weapon has to be used to like take a little bit of face damage.
Alright, so the Dread Corsair is worth surrendering because the Armor Smith is much more valuable to Lifecoach than the 3-3 Pirate.
Right.
Christopher Champion would be a decent top deck for Lostov. Ah, finds an R&B Cowl. I wouldn't be too sad about that.
It's okay.
So, could you go Juggler? Juggler
Coin Shredder.
Zombie Chow. Yeah, Juggler Coin Shredder looks okay, but
it's pretty annoying that there's a Fiery War Axe already on Lifecoach's
right,
side.
that negates every play you make, really.
Yeah. What about
Shredder Zombie Chow and just trade? Maybe we're looking into this too hard.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. He could also try to like get some juggles and just play like a Knife Juggler Hero Power. No, you don't want Hero Power. You want to play efficient. You want to play that. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, this is the obvious play. Yet we're so used to like the weirdest turns possible against Patron or as Patron. We're just trying to find some weird combination of things. Sometimes the simple way is the best way.
Yep, really strong. I mean,
Emperor Thorson in this hand looks pretty sweet.
So the simple way, the strongest way again, and just drop the Emperor.
Right, you can't really go wrong with a double Grim Patron floating hand here.
I mean, there's no whirlwind effects, but still, like just getting the Warzone Commander and Grim Patron to be cheaper, it's pretty good.
I mean, there could be a better Emperor if you wait one more turn. Like if you go Shield Block, Armor Up. Like, maybe Shield Block gives you another card you like and you play Emperor one turn later. Because it's all about whether or not you think the Paladin will be able to punish you by then. And there's also a Zombie Chow to heal you. So the odds of being in a bad spot...
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty slim.
He could just Shield Block.
Yeah, so you attack first. That way you're still going to be below 30 health after you Shield Block. And then...
Yep.
Oh, never mind. Emperor Thorsten's also perfectly acceptable.
I guess... Yeah.
Uh-oh. Doesn't want to deal with Mana Wraith.
Okay. Well, that's just the 2-3. No lay in hands yet. Oh, if he had a True Silver, he could actually get some punches from that.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there goes.
Oh my god, that's so good. It might hit the... If he had a Emperor with that weapon, it might actually, like,
finish it off.
This is hilarious if he actually gets it. he could, you know...
And you know the coolest part? If the Zombie Chow...
Oh!
If the Zombie Chow ends up trading into the Emperor, it will heal Lifecoach, which could then hit the Armor Smith, and then use the Shadow Boxer to kill.
So funny. That's hilarious.
I believe in you, Shadow Boxer. Kill it. Oh, you suck, Shadow Boxer. You're useless.
You're so lame.
He feels out of place. He's not in a priest deck. Can't blame him.
And why would that even pop out of the Shredder if it's not gonna do anything? That's so lame.
Yeah, it's like the Blue Guild Warrior. It gave an opportunity earlier.
Yeah.
Why would you pop out of the Shredder if you're gonna do nothing?
Yeah, just stay the Shredder.
Yeah. Yeah, we should call it just Shredder. No pilots. That's
it. Disappointing pilots today. Alright, that comes. Yeah.
That looks like it's over.
Yeah, that's pretty cream for Lostov.
Da-da-dum.
That's too obvious.
The yokes. The yokes.
A little bit too obvious. Alright. And what can Lostov even do? I don't know, man. I don't know.
You top deck Muster for Battle, and then you can get a lot of minions on the board, so that way you die to Frothing.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think here, okay?
Okay.
Don't push me, don't push me.
Okay.
Oh. Does that change anything?
No.
I don't think it does.
You can stop the patrons from reproducing by killing one with a weapon and silencing the other one. That's probably the best play, but it's still bad.
I mean, you can play that. You can make that exact play and even get an extra Murloc on top.
Okay, that's true. With the coin.
I think I really like that.
You might get a.
If you get a like.
Old Murkai hype.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Oh!
This is the comeback that Lostov and everyone here has been waiting for. All right, he got 2 old Murkais today. This RNG is crazy.
That's crazy. Now he can even kill the Warzone commander.
Yeah, this is insane. This is exactly what Lostov needed.
How do you esports?
I mean, not everybody is able to seize these opportunities. Not everybody does.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
So do you kill the Warsong or do you silence it? I mean, you have to kill the Warsong. You wouldn't let the patron reproduce, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't know which way around is better. Like
it's hard. It's hard to make a call.
It's like, do you want the Murloc to be at, like, yeah.
1 health or 2 health.
Yeah, like you're gonna have 1 more health on the Murloc, but then your opponent would have 1 more attack on a minion.
So no chargers here for Lifecoach. Everything he does is gonna be slowed down a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be that much of an issue.
No, I mean Lifecoach is still way ahead.
Yeah, Murkai was cool, but
yeah,
ultimately like futile.
Lostov needs to top deck something like a Tyrian Fortring, and Lifecoach needs to struggle to find an answer to it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, with double slam and a shield block, with a slam and a shield block, it's not looking very good for him.
No.
I'm glad to pay even more card draw at this stage.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Alright, let's see if Paladin comes out to get buffed up. Forces the outdoor Peacekeeper pick up on Lostov's side.
Okay, just one. I was like wondering if he was gonna play both of them. Alright.
Equality could solve the issue a little bit. It could slow down the bleeding at least by a small amount.
I guess he could get a big game hunter for the frothing. If he
I mean, we know he plays Aldor, but that's unfortunately not enough for the most part. So equality would have to be found, or BGH, as you said.
If he plays BGH, because he did fit those Murloc Knights in somehow, so... But it's possible that BGH was one of the cards that he got for those 2 extra Murloc Knights. Big Game Hunter has been... like, it used to be an auto-include in almost every single deck like this before TGT, but after TGT I've been seeing people... I've seen people cut it more and more.
Yeah, well, I think it's hard because the thing is, the metagame used to be very narrow, where you always needed the Dr. Boom, and now it's so wide. Like, you have decks that are aggressive, that don't run anything above a certain amount of attack, and then that card ends up being a tempo 3, like a tempo 3 and a 4/2. That's horrible.
I saw
cutting it.
Yeah, I saw a Stripe comment about it on Twitter or something like that. Now the tech cards are a little bit like fading out because
it's hard.
There's like more good non-situational cards or something along those lines.
Right, and I think he's right because there are more good non-situational cards, and the moment you put a situational card on ladder, at least you can't even target a deck because there's so many different decks. Exactly. It's almost impossible to just pick one to play up against.
And like the other cards that you have in place of the deck cards are just like so good because you can't fit in everything. You have to cut something. So like the deck cards in this meta and with the new cool cards, it's they're the ones that have been getting cut out.
All right, so Lifecoach is going to take a very favorable matchup as a first game against Lostov. So we'll see if Lostov can recover from the. Queuing into Patron. He's got his Paladin still and will have to win with it, being that it is the Conquest format. Best of 5, so there's still a chance.
The problem with that wasn't so much that, the Paladin still has to win, but it's that now he has no chance to match the Handlock against that
Patron. Right.
Because that was like the best opportunity for his Handlock against that Patron, but no, sorry. I wonder if it was a mistake from Lostov to bring the Paladin knowing that there's LA and Lifecoach in his group. But it is Conquest, so Patrons is only one deck. And
I thought it was going to be perhaps like a spin of what we've already expected. Like what we've seen recently. Like we know mid-range, we know control. I thought maybe it was going to be the secret Pally that came out. Maybe he found a refined version. Because that tends to do pretty well, no matter what deck you're playing up against. Going blind, it's pretty good.
Yeah. But no, patrons and bringing that mid-range Paladin. I've seen some people do really well with it. I know that there's like multiple people in top 10 or like top 20 on the ladder with that, or were in the end of the last season.
Yeah.
So the deck is definitely viable, but just like in a group where there's at least two very likely to two people who are very likely to play patrons, the matchup is just so poor.
So we have a tap fest early game, typical handlock mirror. People just play, they tap, pass, and then go from there. Both players have the BGH, so both players will be able to create a huge swing as soon as their other player drops a giant. Usually when you have your BGH in a mirror match, you think you've got the edge, right? You think, well, I'm probably going to take this because I get the initial kill on the giant and I can probably snowball from there. But since they both have it, none of them really has the advantage.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. I would give sorry, who's the top player? This is Lostov right now, so I would give Lifecoach the edge here, just simply because he got to go first. It's a big advantage in this matchup. The coin is like a bit clunky.
Actually, Lifecoach is a demon handlock, so if you see a demon...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is Lifecoach right now. Okay, so Lostov, I would say that it has a small edge, but it's very small. It can definitely go either way.
Yeah, and there's even the Iron Beak Owl coil in Lifecoach's hand, so he's able to deal with the Drake very nicely. And now it's all about whether you want to play into BGH or the Drake. Either way, Lostov, whatever you play here, I'm sorry, is just dead.
It's just Drake, because like there's nothing too bad can happen. Even that Iron Beak Owl coil, it's not mana efficient. Like this is what I was talking about. Why I give the edge to Lostov, because a lot of the turns, it's like. I would need an hour to explain exactly what I'm.
No, I know what you mean. He can't life tap at the end of this turn, and every time he plays Iron Beak Coil, it's an uneven cost, and unless you have that point for that play, then it's always going to be a little off. Yeah,
it's so weird because it like results in many awkward turns to be going second for some reason. Like it snowballs like unfavorably in some really weird way to go second. because for example, like the player going first. Is the one who will get to play Emperor first, unless the coin is spent on exactly the Emperor. But if the coin is saved for the Emperor, the one going first is likely to have a big lead on the board by then. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. I see what you mean.
There's like a lot of those like weird like small things that just like favor the one going first so much.
So Lostov picked up a crazy top deck to help him clear the Void Caller. The problem is he knows his opponent plays Mal'Ganis. Yeah. If he goes for a Hellfire...
Oh man, he's gonna be rewarded greatly if he just goes for the Hellfire Coil.
It's such a crazy all-in though. Like, you don't know what's coming up. I mean, maybe... Oh god, I hate this. He's 1 health of playing a Molten as well.
Oh man.
Everything right now for Lostov feels a bit clunky. Maybe you just Dark Bomb Coil and play a Watcher.
Would you like Dark Bomb the Big Game and Coil the Owl, or?
Yeah, like, that's what I would do probably. Otherwise, a Hellfire.
He could also like Dark Bomb Coil the Void Caller. Then he would still have 3 mana for the Big Game Hunter in case a Mal'Ganis popped out.
I'm pretty excited about the fact that Lifecoach thinks mid-range Demon Lock. I mean, the Demon Handlock is still something to bring. You know, after TGT, I expected maybe some different decks coming up, but the fact that he still feels confident that's a viable deck to bring, I mean, that makes me pretty happy.
No, that's a wasted silence, but I mean, if you lost of it, that's not a misplay.
Yeah, definitely.
Chances were in favor of Lifecoach having a demon in his hand, and no matter what demon it was, after that Hellfire, there was no way to deal with that demon.
So Lostov is also, and let's mention it, in a position where his Moltens can come out soon, and there is no more BGH on Lifecoach's side. There is no Shadow Flame either. So there's a good chance Lostov can get away with playing, double Molten next turn.
I play this matchup very differently than Lifecoach does. I never go face. I just never ever, because I feel like the player who gets to play the Moltens first is at big advantage. So I just tend to not go face. But Lifecoach likes the more aggressive playstyle. And there's no way to say like what is correct, really. Like it's just different styles. Lifecoach, very experienced Handlock player, definitely knows what he's doing. And also his version is a tiny bit different. So maybe the Demon version has better tools to kind of like close out the game than the one that I've been playing.
Well, Lostov's got a crazy edge here. Life tap to lose health. and then double Molten BGH.
Yeah, I mean...
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, like right now it's like going for face seems like it's not paying off that much. But we'll see, like...
Wow, Lostov with a crazy swing turn here. Can he win next turn? He's got 16-20. He's got 23 damage, so Lifecoach is having to play very defensively here. And now the question is, does Lostov extend the second giant on the board? Or does he feel like a board wipe is more likely than not? I think it's fine to play.
I think he should. Like the only board wipe is exactly Mountain Giant, because he would have a full hand. So 3-mana Mountain Giant into Shadow Flame.
Yeah, but his tournament life is almost on the line, so maybe that plays a little bit in his play. He's laying back. He's like, if he's got it, then I'll take the loss. But I think I'm good.
Nope. It's not there.
Lifecoach, good luck.
Looking at 20,
right.
20 damage on the board right now. That is so scary. Oh, what do you even do? You gotta like taunt or at least like Dark Bomb off that big game hunter.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a good way for him to do so with the Watcher, so it's not impossible. I mean, you can Watcher, you Watcher Defender and Dark Bomb, but it's so weak. Cause like if there's some kind of removal from Lostov's side, then you can pretty much wave goodbye to your game.
Yeah.
Hell, that's pretty dangerous.
This is so difficult.
Yeah, this looks like it could be the last turn.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, he can't even Dark Bomb. I forgot he had the Sun Fury. Never mind. What was I saying?
He could have, because that was the defender. He could have played the Sun
Fury.
Fury.
Yeah, he had to play the Sun Fury, not the defender.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said. Oh, that's game. Oh my god, he's one off lethal.
Yeah, he's one off. That's right.
Wait, no, double coil into double Dark Bomb.
Yes,
That's it. Oh my god, that is it. And Lostov is gonna take the game in the mirror match.
Wow. I didn't see the second coil. That is indeed lethal.
Double coil is a great way to find lethal. I feel it's more interesting than Iron Beak Owl. So it looks like Lostov is going to be able to equalize the series 1-1 in the mirror match. But then again, he does have to go up against Lifecoach's Handlock, and that's not necessarily what he wants to do. He's got his Paladin, so that's not a terrible matchup. He could queue it up again right away, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him do it.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I want to like ask Lifecoach about that, because it feels a little bit like he didn't respect the Moltens. But on the other hand, like if Lostov had no giants, or if Lostov had just one giant, maybe he would have been fine. So like his logic for going face was maybe that, okay, I can deal with one giant. Like I'm fine if he has a Molten giant. Like the only way this is bad is like if he has two, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like the only way for Lostov to really swing this game in like a guaranteed victory was the double Molten turn here, which really you can't play around. And also, Lifecoach was the second player, so considering the disadvantage that you start with a little bit of a disadvantage no matter what, unless you're like a rogue player, I guess. In some cases,
right?
Pretty well played by Lifecoach, regardless.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's great for Lostov having the big game hunter. Wait, oh yeah, I'm sure he kept it. Yeah, it's just the mulligan thing. It sometimes shows as if player
cards get removed. Spectator mode is still a work in progress. It's you know, HearthStone is still only 2 years old, so you know, can't have spectator mode.
At least we have a spectator mode.
Right, that's a huge improvement.
Like, let's focus on the positives. Like there is a spectator mode.
Oh my god, Lostov with the Keeper of the Grove for Drakes. He's got the BGH for Giants. He's got the Shade to Curve. What is not to love about Lostov's hand? Maybe no Wild Growth, but that's about it.
If Lifecoach gets to pull the Jaraxxus somehow, I mean he won't, there's a Keeper, but if he got the 315 against the Druid, like that's game over. Like that's, like, I'm not kidding. It's so ridiculous. You're absolutely strong. Right. Druid cannot remove that. The only answer to it is kind of Sylvanas. And mulch, however you pronounce it. Mulch is
the 3-cost unplayed card that needs a lot more people playing it. I think. I don't know why it's not a one of in every Druid list. I disagree.
I agree with you. I think the card is really good. I think you can play one easily. And from my experience, actually playing it today, and they got like some crappy minions, because you know it gives your opponent one random card.
You're giving them an unstable portal is what you're doing, but it's going to cost them
without the discount. Yeah.
Oh.
It's really powerful. Like for example, against the Mysterious Challenger Paladin or something like. You can't deal with so easily with the 6/6. It's just like poof, 3 mana gets removed. It's kind of like Sap. I think Sap is the best comparison. You pay one more mana for it, but there's the upside that you're kind of an upside.
Yeah.
But on average, your opponent gets it's a worse minion than whatever was like Sap. Because when you Sap a minion, it's usually like a big minion. It's a good minion. It's a valuable minion. It's some of the best minions
Cards in their deck, probably.
because they are in the deck. Like they choose the best possible minions in the deck. So like you give your opponent a good minion to their hand, but like most of the stuff. Oh man! Whoa! Look at what's going on in the game. This is crazy. The Iron Peak Owl Dark Bomb. He can get the Jaraxxus out.
Will he do it?
Yeah, I mean he should. He definitely should.
What can Lostov even do at this point against the board that Lifecoach is going to get? The moment he can taunt up Jaraxxus, that's pretty much it. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Iron Beak Owl, Dark Bomb. It is probably the absolute best board, I think.
I mean, you have when you have an opportunity to get the Jaraxxus out, you absolutely have to take it against the Druid. You gotta do it.
And he's doing it.
Yep.
Still no taunter for Jaraxxus, but a 315 will do just fine, thank you.
Now that's some bad news for Lostov right there.
Yeah, it's not exactly the worst matchup either. It's just unfortunate for him that it's going to end up being a little difficult to pilot.
Yep.
I mean, what the hell do you do in a position like this? I mean, the Shade of Nax could be a win condition later on, but there's really no good play for Lostov to make. They all like he's gonna have to hedge his bets on the future because the present is looking very grim. The Nasus aspiring to make a trade seems good to me. We'll have to see whether or not Lifecoach picks up Defensive Argus eventually. Or Sun Fury. Defensive Argus obviously being a lot better.
It's like so sad. The Aspirant completely worthless here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Jaraxxus just perfectly takes it out. Like, it doesn't accomplish anything at all. I think if you coach you, probably just Drake, right? Because there's gonna be something coming out
the
of
Drake is probably what you want to do here. There's really no reason not to. I mean, I guess you could justify tapping and trying to find a better curve, but since you've got the board against the Druid, you're probably already ahead by a long shot, and then you can start life tapping for card advantage as opposed to tapping for answers.
Yeah, and like you have to deal with whatever comes out from the Druid next turn.
All right, good keeper of the grove from Lostov, so that's going to make Lifecoach almost regret playing the Drake, but not that much. It's not bad enough to make him regret it. But he's gonna have to coil. Not a bad moment for him.
Yeah.
Ooh, hello.
That Jaraxxus is doing some heavy lifting. It's again like it's gonna help him take out a minion.
Yeah, Jaraxxus is like a 1 for 17 in this matchup. Because the good thing about the 3 attack is that because you're playing a Warlock deck with a lot of standalone removal, you're very often able to complement that 3 damage by using coils or dark bombs or Hellfire to finish off, say, a Druid of the Claw. So against a Druid, you've got many ways to use Jaraxxus as a removal piece.
Oh yeah. So now it's skilled off an Aspirant and with the assistance from the coil also that Keeper, and it's still there. It's still 3/11.
Yeah, and it costs 0 mana.
Yeah, you got it on the board for free.
Zombie
so
Chow?
amazing.
That's sweet.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? Helps with some of the trades.
But honestly, like we keep focusing on that Jaraxxus doing a lot of heavy lifting, but Lostov could just get away with a steal with that Shade. I mean, it represents so much damage. He's got the Emperor. He can wait to get combo pieces and just blow his opponent out of the game.
Right.
So is there ever?
Yeah, the game is not over. That's true. Like there's still chance. There's the inner weight. There's the force of nature. Like the Shade is gonna grow, so there will be a next turn. If he picks up the roar, he will have how much damage? 22.
22 damage, yeah, with just force of nature, Savage Roar.
Or no, 23.
More than that, 23 damage, yeah.
23, yeah, because it's gonna grow.
So would you, if you're Lifecoach, consider maybe using Hellfire now to weaken the Shade so you can Shadow Flame it later, or is that never worth it?
I think you Emperor, because
there's like let's look at the possibility like you trade Zombie Chow away, then you Hellfire, that'll kill the Ancient of Lore, And then next turn Dr. Boom comes out, you can BGH Shadow Flame and wipe the board, including the Shade.
Yeah, I like that, but also the Emperor here, it's so likely to force the Shade out of stealth. Because Druid removal on the Emperor costs minimum of 6 mana, right? Unless there's double Wrath. Or maybe if there was the Living Roots, but we haven't seen the Living Roots and he knows it's not there. So dropping the Emperor, it takes up the entire turn from the Druid unless they unstill the Shade, so I really like it here.
How often does Lostov swipe this? Because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him just go face with the Shade.
Yeah.
Can he really win the long game against the Handlock? And my general feeling is no, but I'm not sure exactly if that's how he feels about it. Because he's got the Emperor, as I mentioned earlier, and he can definitely find crazy combo moments with it.
With that hand, I think he can win the late game. He has like a full hand. He has so much good stuff in there. He has the BGH. He has the lore to even draw more cards. So I think he could go for the long game here. I wouldn't be too surprised if he just dropped like a war and even use the Shade to take out the Emperor. Normally you would not do this, but he has so much gas.
Yeah, Ancient of Lore does give him a little bit more viability for the later game.
But like the normal flow of this matchup is that the Druid is the one who's going to be out of gas first. So Druid needs to end the game as fast as possible. The longer the game gets, the more favorable it is for the Handlock player. But that's just the Druid draw is just so good that he should be fine going into late game.
Alright, so we see Lifecoach with the BGH he can use on the Shade. Feels a little awful because you know Dr. Boom is bound to hit the board at some point. So if you BGH now, you're surrendering any ability to kill Dr. Boom easily, at least in theory. Right. And if you Hellfire here, you're weakening your Jiraxxus and you're not really developing anything relevant. You'd have to play the Dread Infernal on the back of it, and maybe that's what you want to do. I'm not sure.
I kind of like that just playing the Giant and big game, because that gives him the most tempo, and like the only target for the big game is that Dr. Boom. Mm-hmm. Well, probably he would have played the war over the Boom. I was gonna say that okay, like if he had a Dr. Boom, it would have been played, but it could be in the Druid's hand. But it's just like he's kind of behind right now, so I like the tempo play here. Definitely the strongest play he could have made, but that is a consideration. Like now he does not have the big game in case the Boom was played.
Yeah, and lucky for Lostov, he's on 9 mana with the BGH Emperor turn and one of his combo pieces. This is looking pretty sweet for Lostov. If there's ever been a time to swing a game back in his favor against Handlock, this is it.
Yeah, I mean, this is just incredible. That is such a great hand from Druid. You rarely see a hand like this on turn 9.
Yeah, against the Handlock, usually the game's either won early with a crazy curve or you're out, right? This wasn't the case at all.
On turn 9, normally the Druid is out of cards and Handlock probably has a lot, but nope. So good.
And now, the protection of the Emperor Thorson at all costs.
Lifecoach does have the full clear here. He can go Dread Infernal into the Shadow Flame.
Mm-hmm. It feels a little weird, but ultimately it's still a better play.
Yeah. He could also just Dark Bomb and then Shadow Flame Dark Bomb the Emperor, attack with the Jiraxxus into the Taunt, and then Shadow Flame the Jiraxxus.
And play Healbot, I guess, yeah.
Or tap, maybe. See, like looking at his hand, it feels like that is not a hand that's gonna win the game, so he might feel like, okay, I really need to draw here.
No, you got a great point. Maybe tapping is a bit more consistent, because ultimately I like the Healbot just because it puts something on the board, but it's not impactful because Wrath exists, and if it runs into a Taunter later on in the game, maybe you can't go through. You can combine it with Hellfire to remove a Druid of the Club, but you're getting vulnerable to combo, and what you need to find right now is a way to seal it, and it's not looking like Lifecoach is going to be able to do it just yet.
Okay.
This
is actually really good too. Yeah, Dread Infernal into
you Dread Infernal into Coil and you draw an extra card off the Emperor and trade.
Yeah, this is really nice. It's again like it's a tempo play, so Lifecoach feels like he's the one feeling pressure right now, which is oh, that's the Boom, which is the case. But yeah, wow, that Boom.
Yeah, that's the Boom.
As if he didn't have enough tools yet.
Well, I guess, I mean, you can't really make an argument for that. I mean, you could make an argument for the lore because you can swipe the 6/6 off the board. That's the only time I could see it. But when you've got a Dr. Boom lined up, you could even Druid of the Claw on the back end just because you can. But you're only vulnerable to Shadow Flame.
Yeah.
It depends how vulnerable he feels to that. So by not overextending, he's preventing probably the only thing that loses in the game.
Wow.
Almost the only thing that loses in the game is a crazy Shadow Flame if he feeds the Druid of the Claw into it.
Right. And now, I think Lifecoach is kind of looking for Molten Giants and some lucky boom bots to face.
Oh wait, Lostov was considering not attacking because Life Tap Molten, but it's not. Is it ever that good?
I don't know. I think it might be a bit early to be skipping those attacks. But Lostov is probably thinking about the boom bots. He's like, okay, what if the boom bots roll high on face? Then the Molten.
You're right. Actually, you've got a point. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's just it.
I think that's the reasoning. I don't know if it's worth it though to skip the attack, but it's definitely fine. Like that one damage on face, it doesn't like. I can't imagine Lostov like winning the game because he dealt that one extra damage against the Handlock in a situation like this.
Right. The counter boom, but the counter boom is going to be a game loss. If you're Lifecoach, you know that you're probably just going to get comboed down to oblivion next turn, or at least you think you will.
So what's your Shadow Flame Dark Bomb?
Yeah, I see. I could see that. You keep the 6/6 in theory, of course, if the boom bots don't go crazy. But then if the boom bots hit hard, then you still die to combo. So it's really all about having those boom bots be spreading. So maybe just a crazy Shadow Flame play would be enough.
Okay.
He's gonna go for it.
Yep.
And if that 6/6 dies, it's unfortunate. He's at 14 health. Uh-oh.
Wow, those but there's no Savage Roar just yet.
Yeah,
but
he might pick it up.
How much is that? That actually is 14, right? With the innervate and 3
Oh my god!
That's the combo, right?
Does he even have enough mana? Yes, the swipe is at 3, right?
Swipe is at 3.
Lostov is double counting. Just to me, he's like quadruple checking. 6 + 4 + 4 is in fact not a Moz math, and I will get away with the win.
The Druid combo, the classic combo, right?
Yeah.
The good old force of nature, Druid of the Claw, innervate swipe. Wait,
yeah.
What? Oh man.
What a crazy game. That again, these guys delivered so far. Every match we've had from these two players have been amazing. Whenever they're facing off against each other, I hope we get to see them more in future tournaments. Lifecoach is like, hey, I thought I was safe because he didn't Savage Roar, but never mind, Lifecoach. It's just a sweet, sweet dream. I'm sorry. You lost it. And Lostov takes another one for the motherland. 2-1 over Lifecoach. Pretty crazy.
Those stories and discounts allow for some crazy combos at times. The total mana cost of that hand would have been 15, but with 3 discounts and the innervate, let's do it. Go.
Yeah. And now Lostov down to his last deck, which has been his weak spot. And we've seen him earlier 2-0 Lifecoach, and then he got completely reverse swept by Lifecoach because he was stuck with the mid-range Paladin. So maybe Lostov is still gonna lose this depending on how the draws line up and how the matchup plays out. But Handlock, you know, it's a decent matchup, but it's not a guaranteed win no matter what.
Right. I really enjoy watching this Paladin deck in action because it's one of those decks that have changed quite a bit. Like the Murloc Knight, it's a big change in how the deck works out. I think it reinforces the board control, like getting minions off the board type of gameplay, and just like controlling the board. And I really like it. It used to be more like you just hold back and just chill and hit hero power, and then you do the equality combos, and then you play some minions more. But now it's like you kind of try to get a good grip on the board. You just make like good trades, and like it's like the interactive type of like gameplay.
No, interactive Hearthstone. What is this? Or is it 2015, or is this like okay?
It's like the exact opposite of Patrons. Like this Paladin deck.
The exact opposite.
It trades, and it gets minions on the board. It doesn't really break any rules by like cheating out stuff. It doesn't kill you in one turn. It's like I think you know it's interesting you put it that way, because some people feel exactly that way about the way Patron ends up working. So Lifecoach has the opportunity to innovate the Drake, and he probably feels like he has to, but what really feels awful about that is that he knows his opponent still is holding the coin, and because he's holding the coin, there's a possibility your Drake just gets True Silvered, but it's not as though he's got much of an option. Yeah, I agree. I think you gotta go for it. I mean, otherwise he's kind of wasting 4 mana in a way. I mean, the hero power would have been somewhat useful, I guess, if you just went for it, but still, like, that's not what you want to do. I like the Drake a lot here, just hoping to find another minion to play.
Alright, no Shade. He was probably hoping for Shade. You can innervate her out pretty easily. Again, weak to Consecration on the coin. Like, there's so many things any play you make here has. And this is kind of a whiff from Lifecoach. Like, his starting hand is only as good as his top decks from here on out.
That is true. He does have the Rot, so that kind of allows him to draw 2 cards next turn, try to, like, smooth it out or so. But
yeah, the Ancient of Lore is a great top deck next turn. Well, not anymore. That's gone.
Good news for Lifecoach. There's no True Silver Champion for Lostov.
Well, there's a Shredder. It's still scary, but at least you got the Wrath. You can even cycle it for good value now that you've got your Drake.
Oh yeah, with the Drake will survive. I mean, there's no way he's consecrating this. So Lifecoach will have a good play for next turn with that spell power swipe. Spell powered Rot.
Yeah, I think a lot of players have learned from the old days of when Shade started being played. Not consecrating a Shade is suicide. So you have to keep the Consecration. There's a lot of times where you end up losing the game because of it.
Oh yeah.
So even if it's the only minion you end up killing, sometimes it's worth it. So just holding on to the Consecration for that alone is worth it.
Yeah.
Now, do you think he's going to trade into the Drake just to ping it for 2 or not worth?
No, I think it's like a hero power and then Wrath for 2 on their mini, but no, he knows that there's no True Silver, because the True Silver would have happened, so just go face with the Drake.
Makes sense.
Next turn, innervate the lore.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this the Ancient of Lore is probably the saving grace of Lifecoach, because his hand looked pretty bad, so to speak, because it was lacking cards, but now he's going to cycle the Wrath and get the Ancient of Lore on the innervate play. Even though he's facing down 2 Shredders, it's pretty okay.
It looks pretty bad for Lifecoach at some point on like his turn 3 or so, but the cards that he drew, like the lore and the innervates, and like everything just seemed to like kind of line up.
No,
wow, that's kind of exciting.
That could actually be a super big deal, because now Lifecoach must feel compelled to kill it. So do you play Shade Innervate Keeper, or do you just... Because that Ancient of Lore just feels so weird.
But like leaving the Cuthberts up, that could enable something like turn 7 Tyrion Fortring.
But if he goes for the Keeper coin Shade, that Consecration Shredder trade is going to be so disgusting. And now he's using the Innervate, so his turn 6 is awful. Lifecoach is on the ropes, really. No pun intended.
That's a really big deal. Like, that's really good. That's so good for Lostov in this situation. It makes the Druid turn so awkward. I think he has to just go for the lore and let the coin happen. But it doesn't feel good.
Well, then again, maybe Lostov's just going to make the trade, right? And if he makes the trade with the cut purse into the Ancient of Lore, then who cares? Because he's not going to coin as long as he doesn't attack the enemy.
No way, you definitely go for the coin. Okay. I mean, how do you not go for the coin? He doesn't have the Tyrion just yet, but if he manages to pick that up, like the difference between turn 7 and turn 8 Tyrion is like
I agree. He's got like 3 shots at the kill, right?
Yeah. Oh, does he hit the knife? Oh, again.
That's a miss. He's got another chance.
Oh! What? No way!
I don't even want to talk about this game anymore. Lifecoach is smiling, and everybody in the chat's like, esports detected.
Oh my god.
It even heals Lifecoach.
But he got a coin, so... This is ridiculous.
It's a good thing there's not like $200,000 on the line, because I would literally just fall on the ground dying. Like, I would literally, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
That's a bit... Yeah.
So Lifecoach getting 5 for 0, kinda.
Well, better yet, he didn't even take the 4 from the Shredder.
Yeah, like, Lostov got 3 juggles at the lore. And he missed all of them, so he's gonna take like 5 to face from that lore also. Like, it's just, it's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say.
So if you're Lifecoaching, you're a good sport, do you Savage Roar to kill the Doomslayer?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Oh, I think that's the play. Alright, well, we're gonna see if Lostov is able to recover from this. That's a really, really rough spot, because the Zombie Chow also kills off the Druid. That's something we need to mention. It's a really big deal, if only for that. Lifecoach is back to full health. The tempo on Lostov's side is now vanished into oblivion.
He still has the tempo, but he doesn't have a play here. Like, this is not good. Like, if he had let's say Doctor Boom or something. Like, well, that would get
Muster
taken.
for Battle would be sick. Muster for Battle, Foreign Quartermaster would have been great.
Like something to establish a board. Like that's the best he can do. It's not completely terrible, but it's not good enough. It's just
we'll see. Maybe Lostov is able to salvage this somehow. He picks up a Lay on Hands into crazy top decks, and Lifecoach with the double Savage or Force of Nature in hand is not able to seal the game, but that's highly unlikely.
I don't know.
Maybe there's some justice that goes the other way. Maybe Lifecoach picks up a Doomsayer.
Yeah, like play Shredder and Shredder Shade and yeah.
Oh yes, let it happen.
That sounds fair. After the Doomsayer, if there's no justice, I mean, I guess Millhouse Monster.
Yeah, why not? You know, why not go completely crazy, right? Give him Millhouse or Totem Golem, and then we call it a day. We just go back home. Yeah. We got a Wolf Alpha with those trees. Why not? It's probably gonna be a Whirling's Appomatic that he can't answer.
Yeah.
Alright, playing the Shade almost guarantees a lethal over the next few turns.
Well, that's the Consecration.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go for it. You absolutely have no choice. The Silence Consecration is also
yeah,
pretty good. Like, that's the thing, by silencing it, you're negating the ability he's got to maybe kill you. Now you're exposed to swipe, but it's better than a game loss.
There's not that much to silence in Druid anyway, so you don't have to like save the owl for anything in particular.
Lifecoach with a crazily bad top deck. That's an awful top deck right now, but
that's really bad.
But it's fine. I mean, you've got the Keeper, you got Hero Power. You know you're gonna get another card with Wild Growth next turn. But Lostov could still stabilize. I mean, if he heals off of that Tusker Jouster, Lifecoach plays Doctor Boom, and BGH gets a kill. Lostov gets a Tyrion, something along those lines. He could still salvage the game.
It has to be Tyrion. Like Tyrion is the card in this matchup that can, like, quite often when it hits the board. That's why how I was talking about it so much when the cut burst happened, like the turn 7 Tyrion. Because if there's no silence for the Tyrion, the weapon is just ridiculous unless it goes to museum. Like, I've seen so many games in this matchup get decided by the Tyrion. It's just such a powerful card.
Yeah, I can totally see this. I think Lifecoach might want to keep the Keeper exactly for that Tyrion if he thinks it's going to be impossible to handle. But that means he's going to be taking a bit more damage in the process while waiting for Lostov to...
He can't really play anything here.
Yeah, I mean, like, Tempo BGH doesn't feel good.
No, into the 2-1. Like, oh man.
Lostov, pick up a Tyrion or a Quartermaster number 2 or you're out of this. And Aldor's not bad, but he needs to heal.
See with the Joust. Oh.
Equalizing, doesn't even get out of a crazy burst range.
I'm gonna make a prediction right now. The Paladin Jousts are gonna become like a meme because Paladin is so poor at jousting.
Right.
It's really sad because you have to play things like Zombie Chow, Shielded Mini, but Knife Juggler. There's so many small minions. It's like whenever I see Paladin Joust, it's less than 50-50 to win against an average deck. It's so bad.
That's what I like about Tusker Jouster is, like, you know, when I face off against aggro, usually I can never find my Zombie Chows like in my starting hand, but at least I get to see them.
Oh yeah, at least you get to see them with the Joust, so you know that they're in there.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I didn't misbuild like Gaddison, Auctioneer Style, and Miracle Rogue, and forget about it.
Yeah, like the big thing about it is too that, like, when the Joust is even, like both let's say both have a 5-drop, it's a loss. Like you lose the Joust at the same mana cost. So like the Paladin Joust win rate is like, I don't even know how low, but something like 40% or 35.
Lostov is 2 damage off lethal. But he can at least BGH. He's so close to getting it done, but he's gonna have to find a way because he has to wipe the board. He knows he's dead to any type of combo. Now that he didn't heal with the Jouster.
It's pretty amazing. Like these boom bots, man. If these boom bots go to like face before both of them.
If the boom bots hit the face twice, it could be like an innervate. Well, the innervates are out, so Lifecoach can't get the double combo. All right.
Both of the innervates are gone?
Yeah, he actually got them very early in the game. That's what we saw after the Darnassus Aspirant. That's how he got his...
Yeah, I remember one of them, but I forgot about the other one. Like,
so Lostov has to be cautious. Oh my god, no. Make the trade, Lostov.
No, Lifecoach is still off, right?
Is he? Well, with 1 minion, yes.
Oh, it's fun. I was like, I have no idea.
Is Lostov taking this game?
Yeah, what the happened? Like Lifecoach showing blanks 4 turns in a row. He just had nothing to play.
No, wait, is he really winning this?
Yeah. I don't know, but
Lostov, if you win this game, you will go down in history as like I don't even know what to say. This is probably the most unlikely recovery I've ever seen in a tournament format.
It's pretty ridiculous. Like after the Doomsayer happened,
right?
Like that Doomsayer was like the point. Like up to that point, Lostov was winning anyway. But when the Doomsayer happened, it's just
is he able to push through for enough damage? 5, 10. Yes, he's getting it. That's it.
Yeah, that's enough. That is enough.
You live. Lostov must be so happy that he isn't dead.
Yeah, that's game. The Ancient of War is not enough. The minions on the board are 10 damage. The True Silver is already there.
Wow.
That's it. Lostov wins.
Lostov takes the game against Lifecoach where his Doomsayer cleared up his entire board in a position where nothing seemed like he could come back. He made it.
Oh, I've seen it all. Like, he gets a Doomsayer from a Shredder. The Doomsayer kills like 5 or 6 minions.
Heals the Druid, then he actually gets a crappy Joust, and then he still wins the game.
I don't know. I'm speechless.
I don't even know what to say right now. I mean, this was crazy.
Lifecoach just couldn't close it. Like he was showing like turn 9, he top decks a Wild Growth.
Right.
That's very good. And like getting what else did he draw? Like the Shade on the.
Yeah, he got a Shade like right afterwards, but it's too late.
Yeah, he just couldn't find something like a Swipe to like get a little bit of extra damage to the face and deal with the minions maybe a little bit at the same time. Right. It's just like he just couldn't find anything more. He had the double combo. He didn't have the mana to cast it. There was no help coming from the top.
It's kind of sad for Lifecoach, but at the same time, I feel like justice was served on the Doomsayer. I mean, I feel so bad for Lostov about that Doomsayer, but now that he took the game, I guess RNG doesn't always dictate the way things are going to go. And as much as I might hate Shredders dropping Doomsayers and, you know, getting... Because that's a really important game for Lostov, right? Like, this was the match point, and his Paladin had been somewhat letting him down. He's been having trouble winning with it, but now that he actually got the win, Lifecoach is out. Lifecoach is just knocked out of the event completely. We're not going to see any of him again, for now, at least. And then Lostov just moves on. That's...
Wow. So like 2 favorites of the group, kind of like Zale and Lifecoach, both knocked out.
Right, and we end up, I think Cypher and Lostov both move on. Lostov, as I said, you know, a player that's really largely unknown, but I've seen him perform previously, and I loved his play. I think it's very tight. He's very methodical about his plays, and it's nice seeing that he can actually hold his own against some of the best players out there. Lifecoach, of course, being one of them. So we'll have Cypher and Lostov moving on. They've got to feel pretty good, you know, coming in here. They didn't really know if they'd be able to make it, but they will. This here is the matches, the brackets we're going to be casting tomorrow. We're going to be casting the second group. We're going to have Kolento, Stan Sivka from Luminosity Gaming, Thais, and Surrender playing in the event. Surrender, probably the best... one of the best Asian players, if not number 1 on Ghosty Gamers, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have some more exciting games tomorrow. Savich, will be casting with me or not?
I actually won't be tomorrow. I will be casting next week again. I believe on Tuesday, but not tomorrow.
All right.
Those look like some really cool matches. I should definitely be tuning in. Stan Sivka has been doing so well this year. Like I'm really impressed whenever I watch him play. And the first match up against Kolento, I mean,
that should be a great match. Honestly, so far I'm not disappointed. It's day 1, and I've already had my share of like crazy games. So I want to see more. Pretty happy.
Yeah. So I mean, that last game was just so memorable. Like the fact that he won after getting the unluckiest Shredder.
Sometimes it doesn't even matter. Like sometimes the Doomsayer doesn't matter, right? Because you don't have a board. It's not very impactful. But when you have 5 minions on the board, and you miss the juggle, and you take the extra damage from the Ancient of Lore, everything just conspires to just be terrible, and he still makes it out alive. I mean, I'm
really happy.
That's a feat.
I'm really happy it went that way, because like if he lost the game because of that, if he lost the game in general, like it would have been solely because of that Doomsayer. So
I would have
I'm
been
happy that it
salty
went this
for
way.
him. So I guess that gives him some comfort, I guess, if it happens in the future. That being said, Saviz, it was a pleasure casting with you. I'll see you hopefully next week, right? As you mentioned. Tomorrow I will be casting with, I don't exactly know who just yet. I think I have it in the schedule that we've got. It's Tan and Grace, who's actually casting HPL, if I'm not mistaken, for the most part. He's going to be casting with me tomorrow. We'll have some more games from Group B, Kalento, Stansivka, Thighs, and Surrender. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the games today. A lot of crazy stuff and great games happened. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, have a nice one. And yeah, take care.
From east to west, heroes are sent, seeking glory in the greatest of events. There are knights on noble steeds, those who will bring them to their knees. There are monsters to test their mettle at every turn. Legends will rise based on their merits. There's even pirates riding parrots. It's the grand